Well, hello YouTube viewers, and welcome to my very first anime related video on YouTube. Now, today I'm going to be talking about Negima and the possible wives of Negi. Now, this is just a spoiler warning. This will involve the original manga by Ken Akamatsu, up to volume number 28. Now, I know volume 29 will be coming out in a few weeks, but I will not be getting it until at least July. So, I want to get this video out now, so I'm doing it now. So, as I say, there will be spoilers in this video. If you do not want to learn anything you don't already know about Negima, if you haven't read up to volume 28, I suggest you stop listening now. Second alert is that this is my opinion on who is likely to become Negi's wife in the future. If you do not agree with my opinion, that is perfectly fine, but if you do make a comment about it, please be respectful and understand that not everybody is going to share your views, and I know not everybody is going to share my views. So, as I said, please be respectful. Now, as you'll know if you've read the manga, just before Lingshin leaves to go back to the future at the end of the school festival story arc, she tells everybody that she is a descendant of Negi and his future wife. We're not sure if she's a grandchild or a great-grandchild, but she is one of his descendants. And assuming that Negi gets married to somebody that he already knows, and assuming that the future has not been changed by the actions of Lingshin during the school festival, and assuming that, of course, she's not lying, this list will include the 10 girls who I think are most likely to become Negi's wife. Now, since Negi is reportedly going to have children in the future, therefore having descendants like Lingshin, there are 3 girls who cannot be on this list because they will never be able to bear Negi's children as far as we know. And those 3 girls are Evangeline aka McDowell, Tatsumaro Karakiri, and Seiyo Ayose. Very unfortunate that these girls cannot be on because they are some of the greatest characters in the manga, but of course they cannot be on the list, unfortunately. Now, on to the list. At number 10, we have a twofer, and fans of the manga should be able to guess that it is Fuka and Fumika Narutaki. Now, these are my rank outsiders on the list. Now, I like these 2 girls. They're very cute and bouncy and mischievous, and they have in the past said that they would like to be secret girlfriends of Negi's, and have even tested the world tree myth with him, although it did not work, fortunately for Negi. Now, as I say, they rank outsiders. They don't have a very high chance of actually scoring with Negi in the future, but they're on the list nonetheless. Now, on to number 9. This may be an unpopular choice, but I'm going to put Setsuna Sakurazaka. Now, I hear the Yuri fangirls out there screaming at me already, but let's just have a look here for a second. Setsuna has a great amount of respect for Negi these days, and Negi has a huge amount of respect for her. If something were to happen to Setsuna's beloved Konoka, and Negi was there to comfort her, that respect could easily turn into romantic feelings. And that is why she is on number 9 on my list of the top 10 girls to marry Negi. Number 8 on the list is Fei Ku. Now, Fei Ku has never really shown much interest in Negi, well, at least not overtly, but recently she has been admitting that she may have feelings for Negi, and she's confused about this because she's not sure if this is just her seeing him as becoming stronger, and because of her promise to herself that she would never marry a man who could not defeat her, she's not sure if she has feelings for Negi just because as the only man that she's found that could defeat her so far. So she is on the list, but at number 8, and still not very likely. Now, number 7. This is Chisame Hasegawa. Now, Chisame is on this list because we actually know that Negi is actually a Chiyo fan. He reportedly goes onto Chiyo's homepage every day, which shows he has an interest in her and has said in the past that she's cute and she hasn't had to do much work to make herself any cuter for her Chiyo persona. So we know that Negi may actually have a small crush on her, or at least admits that she is beautiful. And we all know that Chisame has been worrying about Negi more and more lately, especially when Asuna is not around to do it for her. So she's kind of taken on the role at times of being the big sister and trying to help Negi through some of the hard decisions. So, once again, those feelings may actually turn into romantic if they were allowed to. Now, number 6 on my list is one of the usual candidates is Mikie Sasaki. Now, Mikie will always be the girl who is bubbly and just doesn't really know what she wants. She's said in the past that she doesn't really want to go out with Negi yet, but she doesn't want anybody else to either. So she's kind of there, and she has been developing feelings for Negi and respecting him a lot more ever since she helped him with his disciple test to become Evangeline's disciple. Now, number 5 on the list is a personal favourite of mine and is probably going to surprise a few people. It's Akko. Now, Akko hasn't really been involved in the fight over Negi much in the past, but during the school festival, when Negi took on the persona of Nagi, his cousin, when he was in the older 15-year-old form of himself, she developed some very strong feelings for him, and they were further developed in the Magical World story arc when he saved her from being a slave. Now, of course, she knows now that all along Nagi was really Negi, and she was devastated to find out this news. But my thinking is that these feelings that she had for Nagi could easily be translated for Negi once she realizes that that is the kind of man Negi is going to grow into someday. So she's on the list for those reasons. Now, number 4 on the list is Anya. I never said that it had to be a girl from his class, so Anya is on the list because she is, of course, the childhood friend, and has known him the longest, and has had feelings for him the longest, though she would never admit that, and I think it is actually the most age-appropriate choice for Negi. And, I mean, she has been practicing magic the most, and the longest, and would actually be a rather good compliment to Negi. But the problem is, will she ever actually admit to him that she loves him? Which is highly unlikely. Number 3 is the ever-persistent and determined Ayaka Yukihiro. Now, she is on this far up the list by sheer determination. This girl will not give up on Negi, even if he doesn't realize that she is desperately in love with him. Now, she will continue to fight for Negi until he actually gets married, I would think. She will continue to fight even during his dating of whatever girls he dates before he gets married. And yeah, which puts her on number 3 on the list and is the highest girl on the list that has not yet know about his magical tendencies. Now, number 2 and number 1 are two favourites of mine as well, and it was really hard to choose between them, but I have to put Yue at number 2. She really understands Negi, I think, and of course has very deep feelings, though she tried to suppress them for the sake of her best friend Nodoka. I really think she is probably one of the best choices for Negi. She is one of the most strongest magic users now, and even though she doesn't know much about Negi at the moment because she has been she's lost her memory, but she's still very, very high on the list because once she gets that memory back, all those feelings and all that knowledge will come back and all that understanding. So that is why she's number 2 on the list, but she's just pipped at the post by her best friend Nodoka. Now, Nodoka is one of the few girls to actually admit to Negi that she is in love with him, and this puts her well ahead of the pack, I believe. It's actually, that's pretty much the reason. And of course she may not understand Negi as well as Yue does, but she does have a rapport with Negi, and I think Negi is pretty much the only guy she would probably ever be truly happy with. She would, of course, be happy for Yue or anybody else that finally ended up with Negi, but I actually truly hope that she does end up with Negi, because I think of myself quite like Nodoka, and I've been in a similar situation to her, so I actually hope that she wins it. And yeah, so that's the end of my list. Observant ones of you will notice a glaring admission from my list. Now, I have my reasons for this, but I'm not going to put them into this video. So, if you haven't already figured out why I haven't put her on this list, you will have to read between the lines of the manga and start connecting some of the dots concerning her backstory with the dots concerning Negi's backstory, and then you might actually see why I haven't put her on this list. Now, just to finish off, I would like to say that, of course, Kina Komatsu owns all of Negima and is a brilliant manga artist, and we all thank him for doing such a great job on this manga for so long, and we hope he continues to do it for quite a long time. So, once again, post in the comments, but do be respectful. Anybody who isn't respectful will be immediately blocked.